Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to Vegetative Reproduction in Rhizomes. Couch grass. In plants with rhizomes, the stem remains below the ground, but continues to grow horizontally. So we are talking about the rhizomes, and we are saying that the stem remains underground. The stem remains underground, and it is only the leaves that come above the surface. So when you look at our rhizome here, it has adventitious roots here, and here we have a branch of rhizome from the lateral bud. This one is a branch. You can see that the leaves have been cut off, but it is a branch from the main rhizome. It is a lateral bud. And here we have the vesicular bundle scars. Those are scars. We have the leaf scars. Those ones are leaf scars. And then the stem, when you look at it, it is swollen, meaning that it is storing food. Then we have the remains of the leaves and the vesicular bundles of the previous years. And here we have last year's leaves withering. So this is the structure of our rhizome. The old part of the stem does not die away, as is in bulbs and combs, but lasts for several years. So the old part of the stem, this old part of the stem does not die away, but it stays for several years as the new rhizomes are being formed. The old one will remain there for several years. The terminal bud will turn up and produce leaves and flowers above the ground. So we have the terminal buds. These terminal buds, what happens is that they turn up and face up. And when they turn and face up, they will produce now the leaves and the flowers above the ground level. The old leaf bases form circular scales around the rhizome, which is swollen with food reserves. So when you have leaves, like for example these old leaves, when they dry off, they will form circular scales like this one that we are seeing here. You can see these scales here. Those are the circular scales that are left by the leaf base when they dry off. So you will see that the whole rhizome has got those circular scales around the rhizome. Those ones were for the old leaves that dried off. But you can see that the rhizome is swollen because it has got food reserve. Lateral buds, these ones grow into new rhizomes. So those ones, the buds that we shall have on the sides, they will grow into other rhizomes. those lateral buds. But we saw that the terminal buds, for them, they produce bend upwards and they produce what we call leaves and flowers. But the terminal buds, these ones will grow into new rhizomes. The food from the leaves pass back to the rhizome, and the lateral buds use it to grow horizontally underground, and so continues the rhizome. So when we look here we can see that we have our rhizome here. But now when you look at the food nutrients, you see that the food nutrients are going to support the vertical bud, which is growing upwards. Now when this bud grows upwards and it produces leaves, and then the leaves will start producing food. When they start producing foods, again now the food will be turned back to the rhizome, and when it is turned to the rhizome, it is the one that is going to be used by the lateral buds, so that the lateral buds now can grow and continue to increasing on the rhizome size. Other lateral buds produce new rhizomes which branch from the parent stem. So you have very many rhizomes. The rhizome, you have very many buds. Those buds, now for them, they will not go up above the ground, but they will continue growing and forming other rhizomes underground. The terminal buds, these branches curve upwards and produce new leafy shoots and flowers. So for the terminal buds, terminal buds, they will bend upwards, and when they bend upwards and curve upwards, they will produce now the new leafy shoots and the flowers. Those are the terminal buds. They bend up and go above the ground, and then they produce the leafy shoot and the flowers. Contractile adventitious roots, they grow from the node of the underground stems and keep it at a constant depth. So here we have down the roots. Under these roots we have the adventitious roots, and then we also have the contractile roots. These roots are the ones that are going to maintain the stem in the constant depth so that it does not move out of the ground. It is the contractile and adventitious roots which are going to maintain the rhizome under the ground. For the couch grass, that is Elymus repens, has a rhizome which grows rapidly underground, sending off up shoots at frequent intervals and colonizing areas with its coarse grass. So here we have the couch grass. Now the couch grass rhizome also grows rapidly. The rhizome grows rapidly underground, but at intervals it sends off shoots which come above the ground. Now that one, with the help of the rhizome which is growing rapidly, it will colonize the area with its coarse grass very fast. Couch grass is very difficult to eradicate using conventional cultivation methods, because even a small part of a rhizome is left in the soil, it will quickly grow and produce new shoots. So we are saying that this couch grass is very difficult to eradicate. Why? Because if you leave a small piece of the rhizome in the soil, it will quickly grow and produce new shoots. So it is really very difficult to eradicate, because any small rhizome which is left under the ground will produce very quickly and produce new shoots. Chemical control is possible using glyphosate herbicides, but care must be taken to avoid herbicides reaching other plants. So here, if we want to control this couch grass, we can use the glyphosate herbicide, but we should take care that this herbicide does not reach other crops. Otherwise, it will kill all the couch grass and also killing the other plants. Hello, thank you very much for participating in vegetative reproduction in rhizome couch grass. Please do like, share, and subscribe.